So what did I say, vortex? What did I say? I said we're gonna leave in like 45 minutes, right? I said that at like 3:15. This is 4:02. I'm ever so predictable when it comes to time. And I swear the only reason I was on time for church today is because I've missed church for like 3 weeks, you know? So I felt like I owed it to God. Even though God doesn't care. Because God knows that time isn't real too. So. Ooh. What should I sing about, vortex? What haven't I already sang about? What can I tell myself I need to sing about again that I've already sung about like 150 times, but I'm like, we need to talk about how stupid society is just one more time. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I feel it coming on. Eventually it will happen. It's all a script. It's all a script. That's why the Bible is called the scripture. In case you needed a bigger picture. And I'm certain that many are awfully confused when they hear me. They can only assume that I've been abused. Well, I have, but not by religious people. I believe what I believe, and it doesn't have shit to do with what they wanted to. I believe what's good for me, and I don't believe what's bad for me. And I strive that whatever you deem appropriate, that's the code that you live by, but don't expect anybody else to go along with it. That's precisely the problem with most a joint in my sock drawer when I was 16 years old, and they grounded me. And I remember being extra determined to smoke as many joints as possible after that scenario. So a lot of good that did. But they reacted the way that boomer parents should be expected to react. Considering all the ways that they were propagandized. So many people think that things are right or wrong, all because of bullshit. 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 Damn it! Damn it! That was so good! And I fucked it up because we're going around this corner and I should have known better! Okay. Let's start that over. So what was I saying? What was I saying? So we can rhyme perfectly this time. My parents are perfectly propagandized because of bullshit that's been televised. I like that. I like that. I need to put that shit on a poster. So many people have been perfectly propagandized due to bullshit that's been televised. They love their lies, they love their lies. Cause they love being controlled. They can't help but want to control. Is that a narcissist thing or is that just an everybody thing? And I'm telling myself that it's a clinical thing, but it's really not. It's just living in this world will make a control freak out of the weak. So it's true. It's because of childhood, though. So I really do believe that. Okay, let's talk about narcissism in relation to boomer generation. I think in a lot of ways, because the television is giving people a false idea of what's happening, and so it's like anybody that doesn't trust the media or anybody that questions the narrative that they're told on the TV or the radio or whatever, it's like, yeah, they're going to be laughed at, they're going to be scorned because they don't believe in this false control. And it's so much easier for them to do that than it is for them to be like, oh, maybe I'm just a weak person that doesn't know how to think for myself or, just pay attention to what's going on around me. Television definitely changed everything in that it almost forces people, I say almost, it almost forces people to look at stuff that they wouldn't normally look at, So it puts, like, the world in your, it puts the world in your house. That there's a song by the Talking Heads. The world crashes into my living room. I don't remember the name of the song, but it's off of, I think their second to last album. Television made me who I am.
much that he gets right. Like, I've listened to all these musicians for a long time, and I don't idolize them or anything, but I think they're pretty amazing. But it's like, it's so sad whenever you realize that, like, one of your favorite musicians or, like, your favorite band, like, they encourage voting, but they encourage you, like, voting for Democrats or, like, I mean, there aren't many musicians that vote Republican. Like, what, Kid Rock, that's it. That's all y'all have. Okay. Can't really say that you're lucky to have Kid Rock, okay? But yeah, like there were a lot of bands that were promoting the fucking jab, and you know, musicians that trying to encourage people to take it. I know that John Legend did a commercial for it or something. But yeah, that's so depressing. Especially when these people pretend to be punk. It's like they spend the entirety of their career like representing a certain image, and I mean, it's like, I guess it's our fault for believing that, right? But I wonder, like, I've just been thinking about that that song by Eminem, that won't the real Slim Shady please stand up, please stand up, please stand up. That song is telling the future. Okay, so how much of all this stuff is just predictive programming? You know, like, I mean, this really isn't that deep of a conversation that I'm having with myself, but it's like when that song came out, like, you weren't thinking like maybe one day he will be cloned, you know, like he's trying to tell us something about his own future. And so I wonder if, like, he was paid to write that song, or, I don't know, maybe he saw his own future. Maybe he has self-fulfilling prophecies just like we do. The difference is I'm not making money. The difference is, like, I'm predicting things based off of my own experience and based off of my mental illness and based off of, like, you know, spirits. But I definitely think that there are lots and lots of people on the inside that got paid to write about the future, and you know, if you look into who writes the script for a lot of these Hollywood movies that come out that are obviously about dystopian future and you know, various things that have already happened, and you look into, like, because I go on the IMDb, that's the Internet Movie Database, in case you're not familiar. I go on the IMDb and I look up the screenwriters, and then I go on Google, and Google is not censoring the information to the extent that you can't find information on Google. You just have to spend more time on Google. Okay, so anybody that's saying, oh, they're censoring stuff on Google, it's because they're lazy and they don't want to go to page 10, okay?
fucking hate lazy people with a passion. And I'm allowed to hate lazy people, damn it. Because lazy people make the world go round. Okay? This shithole world that we live in, lazy people are the reason for that shit. Because they're the ones that trust the motherfuckers that run it. Because they don't want to do additional research that makes them feel like crap. And I kind of understand that, but at the same time, fuck them. Fuck them. They're part of the reason why things are terrible. They should be held accountable. But it's not as if they would ever acknowledge any of this anyway. So there's really no point in doing that. Anyway, so the world is run by some pretty evil people, but there's not anything we can do about it. And we can pay attention to how scripted everything is and how musicians and athletes and comedians are being replaced by robots. We could, or some, I don't know what's replaced them. It's just something's happening. Something's happening that most people will deny is happening. But I think that's what the Stepford Wives was actually about. They disguised it as a story about feminism, but that was just the cover. Feminism is a massive psyop. It really is. It's a psyop that's managed to brainwash so many women into thinking that they're oppressed in the freest places in the world for women to exist. Isn't that amazing? So much so that women are inventing rights that they think they deserve, they think they're supposed to have. But you're lucky you still have your clitoris, bitch. You're so lucky for that. How do we get on that topic? Stepford. Yeah, so that's all about these evil men. These evil patriarchal men that are killing off their wives and replacing them with robots that are perfect housewives. But I think it's actually a story about what they do in Hollywood and how they're replacing people. Like any celebrity that acts out of whack, if they start saying too much, if they start telling all those dirty secrets, they'll fucking kill them off and replace them with somebody else. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like, is it really though? I mean, they have the technology to do it. Why do you think the first thing they cloned was a sheep? It's probably because sheep wouldn't even believe this kind of stuff. I mean, I think that that's kind of telling right there. Because they could have cloned a lot of other stuff. No, I mean, I think cloning's been around since the 40s. But I mean, why wouldn't they do that? You know, when people say, why would they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? If they can convince some numbskull like you to believe their bullshit, why wouldn't they do that? It's all about control, you know? So I just did a poster. I literally scribbled it right before I left the house so that I wouldn't forget to do it. It says, follow the money, follow the intentions, follow the narcissism. Because a lot of people will say follow the money. Follow the money is a very popular phrase, okay? And most people don't even do that. But the ones that actually know how to use their phones right, the ones that actually know how to use the internet right, they do follow the money. But I don't think that's enough. It's not enough to follow the money, you gotta follow the intentions. You gotta follow the intentions of studies, you gotta follow the intentions of medicine. And you'll find that a lot of the time, the intentions are money, okay? But also, a lot of the time you can't prove somebody's intentions. So that's why I added follow the narcissism. How narcissistic are people about this decision? How narcissistic are people about a decision that they can't even back? They can't even defend why they're making this decision, but you have to make it too. Okay, I'm talking about the jab. All right? I'm talking about the jab, I'm talking about the education system, I'm talking about voting, all that. So if people get really fucking mean-spirited and they get real saucy with you because you don't agree with them, or you're just questioning what they do or what they insist you should do, I would say that that's pretty telling. Society's narcissism in relation to a decision that they think other people should make, I think that's more important than the previous two. So follow the money, follow the intentions, follow the narcissism. Like, for me, if you followed the money, you'd realize I don't have any. Just because I drive this Mini Cooper, like, that doesn't mean I have money. That means that my parents have money, okay? But I still don't have money because I work at a fucking restaurant, and I'm a stand-up comedian, and I'm broke the majority of the time, okay? If you followed my intentions, you realize that my intentions are pretty fucking good. But since you're not in my head, you'd have to follow my narcissism. And if you know that I do stand-up comedy, then the narcissism would make sense. But I also don't like to promote myself, and I also don't like to take pride in my accomplishments because I believe in God, and I think that God is responsible for those accomplishments. So I'm just saying, like, how does an anti-vaxxer have bad intentions? How is an anti-vaxxer making money? Like, maybe an anti-vaxxer is, like, really convinced in their opinion. So you could say narcissism, but, most anti-vaxxers just want to not have to take it. They don't want their kids to have to take this stuff. We're not, like, trying to push our views onto the rest of the world, though I really wish the rest of the world would listen. But it's still none of my business, like, what you put in your body. But, you'd be better off shooting up heroin.